Hi, I'm Justin, and this is the Root to Harvest YouTube channel. In today's episode, we're going to take you through everything you need to know about winter gardening. First, we're going to take you through the types of plants that I grow. Then, we're going to take you through the products that I use. And finally, I'm going to show you how to lay out your winter weight fabric to make sure that your crops are protected all winter long. This is a vital episode for you if you want to keep growing vegetables all through the fall and through the early winter. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what my fall garden setup looks like. So this is a small fall garden bed. It's about 4 by 4. And in this bed, I have a couple different crops. So I have beets, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli rabe, and I have a few carrots peeking out over here in the back. That's it. So that's all that I have in this garden bed. If you have a smaller space and you're thinking, what can I grow in a small space? I don't have a lot of room, or I don't have a nice open space or anything like that, and I have maybe just a patio planter or something, you can plant lettuces in it. So you can start your lettuces in a patio planter. You can grow any type of green. So if you like kale or you like Swiss chard, any of those things will grow really nicely in a patio planter. I wouldn't recommend growing Brussels sprouts or beets in a patio planter. They're going to get too big. So they're going to get too big. They require too many nutrients. It's just not the right type of plant to grow in a really small pot or something like that. So if you have ground space like I do, then I would recommend that you grow some beets and some Brussels sprouts. Now, what's interesting is my Brussels sprouts, I'm planning on harvesting these very late. So I'm planning on harvesting these in December. So that's my goal, is to start harvesting my Brussels sprouts end of November, beginning of December. My beets, they should be done probably around the middle of November. So just as things are starting to cool down, we might get a couple light frosts. They're going to taste delicious. My carrots, these I actually sowed quite a while ago, and they were shaded out by all the zucchini that was here just last week. So they're just starting to kind of sprout up again. They're really getting big. You can plant some carrots if you want to. So if you really like growing carrots, you can plant carrots amongst your Brussels sprouts and your beets or Swiss chard or kale, or however you want to mix and match is great. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I set up my garden bed for the winter. So what do I do when it starts getting really cold? What do I do when there's going to be a frost? What if there's an early season frost? How do I make sure that I don't lose all of my crops in that one-time event? So it's very, very simple to do. It requires a few simple products to buy, and it will extend the life of your garden months longer than anyone that doesn't have these types of products. The first product is our metal hoops. And so these metal hoops are great. We can lay all sorts of different fabrics on top of them. They're very, very inexpensive. They sell them in different sizes. So they have 4-foot hoops, 6-foot hoops, and I think they even have an 8-foot hoop. Now, if you want, you can lay plastic over them to make like a little mini greenhouse tunnel. You can lay winter fabric over them, which I'm going to talk to you about in a second. You can lay summer weight fabric, which would be really good for preventing any types of bugs. So if you have a caterpillar problem, like lots of moths and things around, you can use these hoops as a way to keep the fabric off of your plants. The second type of hoop is this one from Gardener's Supply. And so this one's a few years old, so it's kind of fallen apart a little bit here, but it still works. And so the way that this one works is it works like a tent pole. So you just connect it together and you can kind of bend it like this. Now what I like about this product is it comes with these clips. So it comes with these nice handy clips, which you can use to just clip your fabric right onto the pole. So you don't have the problem that you do with those metal hoops, where you have to have something that's holding the fabric down. So either like a brick or a piece of wood, or you can even bury them a little bit in the ground. So this is a very convenient option. The other thing you can do with these is you can make them longer or smaller depending on your space. So if I don't need a lot of height here, I can remove a pole and now I have a smaller hoop. So you can change the hoop size with this product, which is great. They also fold up, which is nice for storage purposes. The last thing that I'm going to talk to you about as far as products are concerned is this winter weight fabric. So this winter weight fabric, all it does is it acts like a blanket for your plants. So it keeps all the heat trapped in nice and close to the base of your plants, to the leaves of your plants, and it just protects them from getting burned if there's a frost or I use this through the entire winter. So last winter, I just laid this directly on my plants. I didn't even use a hoop. Anytime there was going to be a frost or anytime there was really cold weather, I would do it at night through the month of January. So during January, I just throw it right on top of my plants. And it's a great, great product. The other thing I like about it is it's really difficult for plants to get overheated with it. So it does block out a little bit of the sunlight. So it really just traps the heat nice and close to the soil. What you can do if you want is you can do a winter fabric in one set of hoops and then have a larger set of hoops where you put your plastic over top. And that will definitely get you through the entire winter in Zone 7A, which is where we are in New Jersey. So this garden bed right here, I have my fabric laid over top just so that you can see how I did it. So these are using those metal hoops, so I don't have the clips that I could use like I would if I had the Gardener Supply product. All I did is I just used bricks to hold it down. So I just used bricks to hold it down. When I want to get in here, all I have to do is move the bricks and just lift it up. So I can just lift it up to water or pick anything or anything like that. Now, what I would recommend for right now is I probably wouldn't use my winter fabric just yet. It's still really warm out. So it's still like 80, 90 degrees every day. If you're really concerned about your plants, you can cover them with your summer weight fabric to protect them from some bugs. So there do tend to be quite a bit of bugs in the fall. So if you cover everything with your fabric, it will reduce the amount of pest problems that you have. Once the weather really cools down, I'll start putting my winter fabric on here at night. So in the late afternoon, I'll come out, cover everything with the winter fabric, and then in the morning, I'll just lift it up and just roll it. And that way it's nice and open to the sun all day long, and then again in the late afternoon, I'll come back and cover it up. Now, when you get to later winter, you're gonna wanna keep your fabric on all the time. And just make sure that it's nice and supported, because if it gets windy, you don't want it blowing away. So you wanna make sure that it stays nice and taut over these hoops. And like I mentioned before, what you can do is you can do a secondary hoop system with plastic over top. So that would just really, really insulate your garden bed. If you really want to get the most amount of productivity out of your garden for the year, you can do it that way as well. And that's it. Thanks for watching today's episode. In today's episode, we took you through everything you need to know about winter gardening. We showed you what vegetables to grow. We showed you what products that you need to buy. And finally, we showed you how to set up your winter tunnel to make sure that everything stays nice and warm through the winter season. Be sure to like and subscribe down below and click that bell just to make sure that you get the updates.